Well, hi students and welcome to week 3 of IT1010. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going really cool and groovy for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get you started on week 3. All right, so our historical fun fact actually happened within the parameters of last week, but last week I talked about Grace Hopper a little bit and the Navy commissioning a ship in her name. Well, this actually happened on the 9th. And this week starts on the 10th. So this is 1947, and I don't do math in my head. So 71 years ago, Sunday the 9th, which just happened. If you listened to that video last week, I was talking about how Grace was one of the first programmers. And so she was actually working on computer programming, and a moth flew in through the open window and hosed up the computer. And so they caught the moth and taped it to a piece of paper because they had to keep track of what happened and, all the goings on with the computer programming. And so at 3:45 p.m., she recorded the first computer bug in Harvard Mark II's computer logbook. It was traced to a moth that was stuck between the relay contacts in the computer, which she taped to the logbook with the explanation, the first actual case of bug being found. So bug was actually found by others, but she made the logbook entry, and that this page with the actual bug is in the Smithsonian. So when you talk about, oh, my computer has a bug, Grace Hopper is the one who found it. Well, the first one. Anyway, so that was 71 years ago. So if you think that the computer in front of you is within the parameters of the 80s with Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, you are sadly mistaken. So anyway, so that's your historical fun fact. All right, well, let's move on to what's going on this week. We're going to do a few more little things. We have one access assignment, and then there's some networking discussion postings. And then there's a quick little getting started with Word. So this is kind of an intro to Word. And then next week, we actually hit the ground running, and we're going to start Word. All right, so let's go into the module and see what's going on. All right, access. Here's what I tell my students in class about access. What I find is that people who use access today are people who used access in the past. I don't see it so much. I mean, I work at C&M and I have no life. Okay. I don't get out much, but so I'm not within the world. I don't know what's going on. I know people who still work at C&M and who used to work at C&M, and they would reach for access whenever they have to do something because it's a database program. Okay, so you use a database if you use the schedule of classes. When you're planning your schedule and you're looking for classes, you can filter. So you can look by subject, you can look by campus, you can look by instructor, you can look by part of term. So you filter things. They dump everything into this one huge database, and then you can filter it out. You can look at every class if you want, but that takes a little time. So I don't see a lot of access being used, but I am not out in the world. There is this one assignment that we have to do because it's in our outcomes. It's not anything that you will ever use again in this class, but I'm happy to show it to you to kind of give you an idea of what happens with databases. Another place where you'll use databases is in libraries. So if you go to the library, you say, oh, I have to do a research paper on, communications or psychology or philosophy or something like that. I need to find something by this. And then you start filtering. Well, I need to look by this and that or by this author. You start filtering things, but you're looking in a database. So that's exactly what's going to happen with this. So there is a video. Let me go into this assignment and kind of show you. No, I didn't want that. Let me shut this off and see if I can show you a better view. This will be more what your view is. There we go. All right. So when you click on the actual assignment, and it's got a hiccup. Okay. So there is a video that shows you an introduction to databases. Okay. The plural. Okay. So then this is actually kind of cool that they do this way because this is kind of how Word is going to start when we do it next week. So you're going to get a database file. So if your computer doesn't have, Chrome, If your computer doesn't have access, you either need to go to one of the campuses or see if you can go to a library or something that has it. So access comes across. It looks kind of stark when it opens, okay? And then there are instructions. Now, a lot of students struggle with this because the instructions are not particularly clear, and I've tried to get them to fix it, and I haven't had that much luck. I'm going to try to fix this here. Oops. All right. So a database is a collection of information that is organized so it can be easily accessed, managed, and updated. Okay. So you put everything in a big pot, and then you pick out what you need. You sort it. Okay. It's kind of like laundry. So you put all your laundry in one pile. These are the whites. These are the colored. These are the, whatever. So that it's designed to offer an organized mechanism for storing, managing, and retrieving information. If you use Excel, you're already accustomed to saving things in columns and rows, and that's similar to what this is. So it might work for some things, but not so much with others. So here are your instructions. Okay. This is actually pretty much what your Word skill builder is going to look like. So this is kind of an intro to Word. So I'm not going to walk you through the whole thing. It's not terribly long. So you start by your IT1010 class. Okay, so you're going to open that database, which I just did. You have to click on Enable Content. All right. And then the smart thing that you do, if this ever does this, okay, the smart thing that students like you will do, because you're really smart because you took this class with me, is you'll save things right away and you'll save them really frequently. Okay. So you want to go File, Save As. And I don't think I put, I didn't put access into that when I did the thing last week, but that's okay. I'll go in here and I'll create. Oh, I deleted that. So I would have in my IT1010, I cleaned up my USB too fast. So if I had my IT1010 folder like you do, okay, and then it had all the other ones, then inside it, it has access. You would navigate to access. All right. All right, then you would open it. Okay, so now IT1010 database, and I always take the numbers off. And I think it says last name, first name. All right, so we can just take all that off. So last name, Thompson, and I'm not a big fan of underscores, access, database. Okay, so you're going to save that. Now it's saved where you can get it. Then you have to enable content again, and then follow the instructions. All right, so if necessary, close anything. Look at the navigation pane. You should see objects. All access objects. So anyway, so all you have to do is follow these instructions. There is a, let me make this bigger. This video. Okay. In those instructions, let me see if there's anything underneath. No. So, oh, right here. All right. So there's some information right here. So in this access database, just do your best. It's okay. It's a 20-point assignment. It's not that it's not important. It's just that nothing, the freedom of, the safety of the free world is not hinging on a 20-point access database assignment. So do what you can and let me know if you have any questions on it. I'm not going to walk you through it because it's really, you just do a lot of clicking around and then you're just going to submit the file right here. Okay, 20 points. All right. Let's see if I can go back. Well, let me go back. All right, concepts project. Now, in your IT1010 folder structure that we did last week, you should have a folder for concepts projects. So you may or may not need to save things to it. Not every concepts project is going to have something that you need to save. This is a discussion. Okay, so like I said before, and you'll hear it again, this is a very video-heavy class. So the Google Drive video demonstrates a network of collaboration with uploading and sharing files through the cloud. So there are some videos right here. And then after you have watched this, click on discussion. Why would you use a Google Drive? What's the difference between Google Drive and Google Docs? And why would you use Google Docs? All right. So one of the things I want to point out is the same as the intro discussion. You don't have anything. Let me close this over here. The only thing that you see is learning modules like that. So the only thing you can do is come over here to this discussion, and it says click here to post. So you click on click to launch. Okay. So why would you use Google Drive? What's the difference between Google Docs and, I forget already. So you click on create thread. Here are the questions right here. Here are the videos. You can type whatever your title is. You have to have a subject, and then answer the questions here, and then submit it and answer at least 2 people. Okay. Now, can I go back from here? Sometimes it won't let me. Oh, let me cancel that. Okay. Sometimes this navigation back and forth is. All right, let's go back to module 3 right here. All right, so that's that first part. Why would you use Google? All right, now this next part right here, visit some web pages, and then all together now take a quiz about it. And then there's another discussion. Okay, so CNN uses network drives that students can share with web access. Okay, so files.cnm.edu is how you can access the network from home. So let's go see what that looks like. Files.cnm.edu. Okay, then you have to log in. So you would log in as a student unless you're a student employee. I have to log in over here and try to remember my password, which I probably mistyped. Yep. Okay. So then this is how I can access the things on my network drive. Okay, this is not important. What this tells you to do is click on the I drive and then click on BIT and instructors. All right, so I'm going to go back over here. So the I drive is over here. And if you click on the little plus, it will open it up. So I'm looking for instructors. There's a little plus. I can open it up, and I can click on BIT, and I can open it up. Does this start to look like the folders that you created last week? I kind of think so. So mine is here under G. Thompson. You can click on this one. You can look at all of these. I don't use this. But that's how you get there. And so it says, what CNN network drives do you have access to? And that's which one of these. Okay, the ones that had there were all kinds of ones. Which ones do you have access to? Do you have access to more than one instructor folder? How do they organize their folders? Are there subfolders? What does it look like is basically what it is. So put some information on there. Okay. And so that's not terribly exciting, but it'll show you, and you want to keep track of files.cnm.edu because that's how you can work from home. If you have things, if you were in the library or in the computer lab or something, and you saved something to your network. Hold on one second. Excuse me, I'm still not over this allergy thing. Then that's how you access them from home. All right, getting started with Word. I'm going to give you the answers because they don't tell you. All right, so there are instructions, and then there's some buttons and a video. All right, so the instructions. This is a little 10-point assignment. It's really pretty cool. Let me go to this one. So it says, this is just the syllabus for this class. All right, so open Word. All right, so from the Word Start screen. Okay. I'm trying to move this around here. Okay. So I'm going to go to New, and then look, that looks exactly the same. Type in APA Style Report. Dun, dun, dun. Click on Search. Searching thousands of online templates. Okay, and then you're going to look for this one that says APA Style Report 6th edition. Am I going to find it? Right there. Okay. Then, all right, so now there's some things that ordinarily I would tell you not to do that I wouldn't care, but this is really kind of important, so I think you should do it. All right, so when you're in Word, all right, I'm going to click on Create. Da, 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 da. Come on. Let's go. All right, here we go. I can get rid of the syllabus. All right. Okay. So here are the things. I'm going to make this just a little bigger, even though you're just going to see a lot of gray. All right. Change the ribbon display options to show tabs, but it does not tell you how to do that. I am going to do that. Up here at the top, there's a little kind of a page with an arrow that kind of means reveal and reveal and hide, and it says ribbon display options, but it doesn't tell you where to do that. When you click on this, show tabs. So it took away all the detail and it shows only the tabs. Then customize the quick access toolbar. Doesn't tell you where that is. That's over here. So I already have mine set because I'm working from home. So if you click on this little down arrow, it says customize quick access toolbar. And you can select or deselect several different things that you want. It says add new, which I already have, quick print, which I already have, and spelling and grammar, which I already have. Okay, and then when you close it, hit it, it closes again. In the tell me bar, type shape. Well, that's right here where it says tell me what you want to do. So you can type in shape. Let me spell it right. Oh, there we go. Or you can go over here to insert and shapes. And then, so if you did this, you'd get exactly the same thing. All right. Choose a shape from the menu and double click somewhere on the page. All right. So if I go over here, let's follow the instructions. Don't be a radical. Shape and enter. You get exactly the same toolbar. Okay. So a lot of people choose the little heart. Okay. And then click somewhere on the page. Show the ruler. Okay. So if you want to see something, you have to click on view. And the ruler is right here. So that's exactly the thing. Okay. And then, oh, did I already do this? No. There we go. So there's my little heart. Okay. So you put that somewhere in there. I did the ruler. Zoom. So zoom is another kind of, I want to see it at 120%. So that's view. You click on zoom. And then you can either click up or you can just delete that and do that. Click OK. Change it to read. That's another view. Okay. And when you're finished, it should look something like this. Then, excuse me. Change the ribbon display to show tabs and commands because, here it is. So then you just come, all right, let's just close this. So that's full screen. All right. All right. I'm going to do this to show tabs and commands because that's what we're used to seeing. And then it says, and your document back to print layout, to view layout, print layout. Okay, it already is. Okay, and then you save it. Okay, save it under, you can put it under Word Chapter 1 because it's Intro to Word. You're going to save it, and then you're going to go back over here, and you're going to upload it the same as every other assignment. That's it. So that's your Intro to Word. Now, somewhere in here, let me go look. I thought I had videos for you to watch. Did they show up? I don't know. Let me go look. Come on. Getting started with Word assignment. I thought I put them in there. Maybe not. I'll try to get them in there if they're not already. Okay, because that's just the assignment. All right. Then your attendance is the same. It's the same as before. You have to do attendance. If you miss, I'm going to, you're setting yourself up to be dropped. Okay, post directly to the journal and tell me one thing you learned this week. Click to launch. It can be something about Word. It can be something about the discussion, the things in the concept projects about networking and web pages and the quiz. It can be something about Access. You may have learned that you like Access and you want to learn more about it. Maybe it's not your thing. Just tell me something that you learned to show that you were in class. Now, this last thing I'm going to show you, this is optional, but I cannot recommend it enough. It's a video on YouTube. It's called The Human Face of Big Data. And so what it does is it shows what is done with the data that is captured from our using the internet. So it shows how tweets are used. It shows how data is captured to predict cold and flu season. It used to be people had to go to the doctor and say, do I have a cold or is it the flu? And then that information was sent by Pony Express to the CDC in Atlanta, and it took weeks. Okay, now they start to see a trend because they start looking where people go, is it a cold or is it the flu? And that information is captured, sent to the CDC, and then they look at sales of cold and flu medicine, and all of a sudden flu vaccine is made available. Okay, this is optional. It is well worth watching to see how your computer and internet usage is captured and used for your benefit. The same way if you go to the hospital and they hook you up to a computer, that information is very valuable, and they capture that information and use it. Temperature rose and fell, liver, heart rate, all that kind of stuff. So it's well worth watching. I think a lot of students don't, and I think you're doing a real disservice to yourself if you don't. So I highly recommend it. Okay, so that's what's going on this week. Short, sweet, and to the point, I hope. All right, have a great week. Let me know if you need anything, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye.